Moving on to the question 4, we will plot points in three-dimensional coordinate systems, and also we will find the distance between points. Now here you have been given a point 2, 1 and 5. If it was say a is 2 comma 1, we know it's x and y. This is x, y, x-axis say 1, 2, it's over here, y is 1, and this would be the point, isn't it? But how would we plot something which is having more than two dimensions, more than two coordinates? Now it's x, y, and z over here. Now here we need to have the grid. I will just use this one over here, the first step. See, we need to start plotting x, y, and z. You do not need to write anything. You just have to plot it out and then write all the coordinate points. When we get the three-dimensional figure, we have to write it out. But it's very simple. First thing, you always start with 0, 0, the base. Okay? Now you might see there are three lines. Which is which line? Now we know always x and y. X is the horizontal line, y is the vertical line, isn't it? But now imagine this line over here, this coordinate, right, is now it's like a page which is like vertically kept, right? Now this is over here, plus, and like a plus sign. Now keep it on flat. If you keep it flatly, it'll look something like this, isn't it? Now similarly, imagine this x and y which are always together. They are over here and over here. Now still x and y is not just the same thing. X-axis is always the one which is like this, slanted, and y is the flat line over here. And the depth, which was considered the last one, the depth is the z-axis or the z-axis. That is the depth of the height. So please memorize this. X is this flat one. If you're coming front, front ahead, this is the positive coordinate, whereas going back would be minus, going right would be plus, and going left would be minus, and going up would be plus, and going down would be minus. This is the coordinate system. Now here, let's see the points 2, 1 and 0. But first we always have to start with 0, 0, 0. That is the first coordinate point. I'll write over here. The first one which I marked is 0, 0 and 0. Next, what do we do? Start one by one. What is this? It is 2, right? So let's go ahead in the x-axis, positive 2, 1, 2. So this is the coordinate system. So the second point would be x is the only thing which we have added 2, and then it's 0 and 0. So let me just write these over here. We will have many points. So now it'll be 8, exactly 8 points only, not many points, 8 points. Now then, which is the next one? So it is 1, but where is this 1? It is along y-axis. It's always x, y, and z, right? So we have to move right side to 1 because it's positive. If it's left, it's minus. Can you see this point here? It should be in line with that. So if you draw a parallel line along this line, so the two lines which should be parallel over here would be the y. Let me just draw it out over here. So it's 1. It should be a straight horizontal. If you count this distance, imagine this is 1 centimeter, draw a flat line at 1 centimeter somewhere over here, okay? That would be the next point. So that is how much? It'll be 2. Already we have done the x. Then y is 1 and then z is 0. And now what is the z value? It's 5, isn't it? So from here we have to go up 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So it'll be somewhere over here. That's the fifth point. So now we have 2, 1 and 5 over here. Then what about the other points? See, from here, if we start drawing, you will get this, and there will be this point which will be a grid right at the base. So what is this point? Easily we can denote the next point. Why? Because there are 2 points and right side. So over here, right side only. Then only we'll get a rectangular grid over here at the bottom. This is a two-dimensional thing. So what would be that point? See here, from 0, what is happening? Only this 1 is being added because it's along the x-axis itself. It's not moving. It's along the z, it's flat over there, only we are moving at y-axis, so it'll be 0, 1 and 0. So that would be the other point. Now all these 4 points, right, whichever we got, have to be added by phi on the z-axis. Just move them up by phi. So this already is done. There's this. See, now we will go on the 0, 0, 0 point. That's easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just over here. It's very easy, isn't it? That is the point. So this is 0, 0 and phi. And what about the other two? There are two more remaining. What about this one? It's 1 to the right, and then let's take phi again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will be just over here, but 1 to the right. That's over there. So it's 0. Even the y coordinate is included, 1 and phi. And what is the last point that's remaining? So this is already lifted up. We didn't lift this one. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll just be left to this, isn't it? So these are the coordinate systems. Now, how do we get this point? Now, this had moved its x-axis already. We have moved the x-axis, that's 2. So we have to write the 2. Did we move it along the y-axis? No, it's 0. And the z-axis, it's phi. Now we got all the 4 grids. We can join them, softly. You need to use scale to join them. I'm just doing it roughly over here as well. You join all these points. This is on the line, and this one, it'll be the 3-dimensional grid. And these are the points. Now you can see the final answer would be something like that over here. See, this is the grid. Now mine is not accurate. It's not, properly done. But anyways, that's you can see over here, because I use this grid. Now this is matching this grid. But you can get the gist of it. That is the answer. Now I will tell you one other way directly you can get these points. Okay, let me just go back. Here, these all values can be written like this. I'll show you now. Now we will always begin the first point with 0, 0 and 0. Next one, I will start with this 2, and then other things are 0 and 0. Third point will be, I'll write 0, 1, 0. Just I'm writing the y point, and now I'll write the z point. That is 0, 0, 5. So it'll be 0, 0 and 5. Now what about the fifth point over here? So we will write 2 points and then the 0. So we'll write 2, 1 and 0. Now we'll shift. It'll be 0, 1, 5. And lastly we have, what else? Okay, this is there. 2, 0 and 5. So we have just, there's 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. Over here there are 2 zeros, all zeros. And lastly the point would be all the points together, 2, 1, 5. Isn't that easy? Now if you plot all these points, I'll show you here. 0, 0 is this point, this is 2, 0, 0 would be this. Now x is 0, 1 and 0 this one. What about this 0, 0, 5? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That will be that point. 2, 1. So 1, 2 and then 1 to the right somewhere over here. And what else? 0 over here only. Okay, 1 and up by 5. This will be the point. 2, 0, 5. That is 1, 2. No y, just 5 up over here somewhere. It will be in the middle like this, I believe. Then 2, 1, 5. That will be somewhere over here. So that will be the answer. Now if you join them, these were the points, right? We got, yes. So this is another way. This is like the shortcut way. But actually, I told you the steps-by-step way. That is how we move one by one. So this is how we can easily plot it. And your answer should look like this. And please make sure you write all the vertex points. These vertex means the end points, okay? Mention all the end points. You can give them like A, B, C, D. After you draw it, you can just give any of the denotation. Now even over here, what I'll do is I'll do the shortcut method. Okay, we need a grid, so I'll use this grid and let's draw from there. The first point would be, always I like to start with 0, 0. You have to start with 0, 0, 0. Then what I do is I write only the first point, then others are 0. So this should be 0 here, 0, and then I move that to 4, and then other things are 0. Fourth point would be 0, 0 and 2. Fifth point I would consider to be only now, okay, now 2 zeros are done, only 1 0 will be there. So it's -1, 4, and then we have got 0. Sixth one would be 0, 4, and 2. And lastly, let's put the 0 in the middle. So it'll be -1, 0, and 2. And lastly, we write the given point itself, that is -1, 4, and 2. So now when we substitute it all, like let's just put these values over here. So we have got 1 over here, it's 2. Okay, these points already done. What happens is, see, now here it's going back. So from 0, 0, 0, you go back by 1, that is -1. Okay, this is going back by 1. And then let's go 4 to the right because it's y-axis. So from here, be 1, 2, 3, 4, somewhere over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this will be the point. If you have a scale, you can measure it properly. And even over here, it will be over here along the fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4, isn't it? This one over here. And this goes up by 2. So it'll be, you should just measure this distance and put it over here. Let me just put all the points over here directly. And that'll be just below this. Okay, over there. And that'll be over here. If you get the base, then you can easily plot it out. And that's the thing. So over here, we will join them all. That's it. So that is one of the very easy problems. And you can see that'll be the answer. Mine is not so accurate, but you can get very accurate by using scales. And these are all the points. Similarly, let's do the others as well. From here, -2 is minus backside. And then we have x as -2. And then y is also +2. So I'll take over here 1, 2. And then up also is 2. And what about this point? It will be somewhere over here. And all the points over here will be moving up by 2. So 1, 2, somewhere over here, here, here. And then you join them up. That's it. And you can get the points from here, or you can do the method which I have written. So let's do it. It's 0, 0, 0. Let's start with the first point and then all the zeros. Let's start with the now 0 and second point. Second point is +2 and again 0, and lastly we have 0, 0, 2. So you can do this by yourself from this and then write the points by heart from this method which I'm telling you over here. So we have now -2 and 2, 0. Then we have 0, 2 and 2. And then lastly we have -2, 0 and 2. And then the given point itself, -2, 2 and 2. These are all the answers which we have. And you can see the answer somewhat like this. It's just a cube. And here as well, let's solve them quickly. We need at least the grid. I hope the grid will, I'm sure the grid must be given, otherwise it's very hard to solve. The grids will be given. Now from here we have +3, 1, 2, 3, and then -4, so it's to the left. So I'll start with over here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 1 point. From here also 4, it will be somewhere over here. And then 1 up above, that's just over here, just here. That's okay. Now this is a bit tricky. From here you take 4, sorry, 1, that'll be just here and here. So the base is these points which I just now drew, and the top one are these points, and then you just draw the straight lines. So that's the cube, and the points over here would be 0, 0, 0, 3, 0, and 1 and 0, sorry, 0, -4 and 0, 0, 0 and 1. Now we'll start with 2 points, 3, -4 and 0, 0, -4 and 1, and then lastly we have 3, 0 and 1. And now finally all the points here, this is it. There'll be 8 points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can see the figure is here. That's the correct answer. Let's do the fifth one. We need at least one grid. And now I'll write the points 0, 0, 0, 4, 0, and 0. I hope this is all clear. You can just move to the next problems. I'm going to solve anyways only the writing problems, all the problems. That's why I'm solving it over here. though they are the same ones. And lastly, we have, okay, I've done a mistake. This should be 0. Now this is again 0, 5, and minus 3. I always like to take one, two zeros at, okay. Now again, I've done a mistake. This is 0, 0, and minus 3. So what I like to do is start with two zeros, 0 and minus 3. Now I would put two numbers and one zero only, 4, 5, and 0. Then we have 4, 0, and minus 3. And then lastly, we can write 0, 5, and minus 3. So they are all unique numbers. And lastly, we write the given point itself, that is 4, 5, and minus 3. So this is it. So you will have three unique points, and then only you can solve this up. And okay, we did not graph it. So let's quickly graph it. Here 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4. And what about y? Y is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, this is the point. And then what is the z value? Minus 3. It's going down. 1, 2, 3 over here. Now this point also will go down by 3. That's over here. But there's one more point in the middle. So from here we have to take 5, isn't it? 1, 2, 3. It'll be somewhere over here approximately. You have to measure it and do it. Okay. Now this, if you graph, is the upper grid because the z value is negative, it's going down. Now here from here 1, 2, 3, somewhere over here. This is already done. This one will be over here. So now this is another grid. So now we join them. All that'll be the answer. So here you can see it's not that accurate, but it's accurate enough. Okay, now I forgot to tell you about the dotted lines. I'm so sorry. I just remembered it. So always see whichever sides are visible. This will be visible, visible, visible. All the outer sides, you just draw it straight line. The dotted line is for the sides which are like behind it. See now, look here. This is outside, right? Imagine this was a colored, colored plane. You can't see anything inside. So this really you can't see. So it's dotted lines. Okay. And then all the above right side, you can do it directly. So that is the concept. Here also we will see 0, 0, and 0. So what I'll do is I'll write this like this. 4 only, 1 only, and then I have minus 3. And now here I will write 4 and 1. I'll write 1 and minus 3. Over here I will write 4 and minus 3. And then lastly 4, 1, minus 3. Then now I can add the zeros easily. I hope you understood what I did. I just wrote the numbers which I'm writing and then the zeros. So that's the coordinates. Now here we have 4x, that's front. It's coming towards us. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. Y is 1. This is 1 point. Minus 3 again, it will be going down. This is another point. And then what is the next point? Somewhere over here is the other point. So this is basically the base. And now everything is going down. So here 1, 2, 3, that is down over here. 1, 2, 3, it's down here and down here. So that will be the other grid, other base, the bottom side. And now here, which is dotted? This one will be dotted. This one will be dotted and the coordinate will be dotted. All the others, these three, this, and this are dotted. All the others will be solid lines. So you can see, but the coordinates, since it's, touching the coordinate, even the dotted won't be noticed. But that is supposed to be dotted, this and the other one. So that's it. Now they are asked us to find distance between the pairs. This is again a very easy concept. You know the distance formula, right? It is always x2 minus x1, the whole squared plus y2 minus y1, the whole squared. But here we have three, not just 2 points, x1, y1, this is x2, y2. What about the next one? It's z1, z2. So we modify the formula to add all the coordinates. It'll be x2 minus x1 the whole squared plus y2 minus y1 the whole squared plus z2 minus z1 the whole squared. So this is it. Now we substitute the values. Here x2 is 2 minus 0 the whole squared plus 4 minus 0 the whole square plus 3 minus 0 the whole square, and now you should just take the square root of it. So it's 2 minus 0 is 2 square is 4 plus 4 square is 16 plus 3 square is 9, and that would be 20 plus 9, it's square root of 29, somewhere 5 point something. That would be the answer. Now you can leave it as a root for 29, that's fine. This is the exact distance. Similarly, we can solve the other problems. Let's quickly do it. Same formula doesn't change. You need to write the formula every question, but I'm not going to write it now. I'll directly substitute x2 9 minus of minus 2 the whole square plus 0 minus 5 the whole square plus 4 minus of minus 1 the whole square. Why? Because it's x2 9 minus x1. x1 is already minus 1, so we use the bracket. Now here what happens is 9 minus of minus will become plus 2 the whole squared plus it'll be minus 5 the whole squared plus 4 minus of minus 1 will be 5 whole squared. Now we have 9 plus 2 is 11 squared plus 20. Here minus 5 the whole square is directly, I'll write 25 plus over here also 25, and then we have 11 as 121 plus 50, that is equal to square root of 171. That will be the exact value, that is the distance between these 2 points, 171 square root. Here as well, I'll directly use the formula. I'm not going to write the formula. It's 1 minus 4 the whole squared plus 0 minus of minus 6 the whole squared plus 1 minus 0 the whole squared. And then you can put this in the calculator directly and solve. There's no problem in that. It's minus 3 the whole squared plus 6 the whole squared plus 1 squared. Here we have 9 plus 36 plus 1. That will be 46 square root. It's very close to 7, 6 point something. So square root 46. And lastly, we have got this problem here. Square root of 0. Now you can even, instead of writing 0 minus 0 minus, I'll just change this. I'll take this as x1, y1, z1, x2, y2, z2. That's absolutely fine. You can interchange the points, right? So I'll write 8 minus 0 the whole square, x2 minus x1. You can write 0 minus 8. It's the same thing. When you square it, negative 8 becomes positive 8. Minus 8 minus 8 is 64. The answer is same. Because minus 8 when you square, or when you square 8 positive, it's same, 64 and 64. So I just changed it over here so it'll be easier to write. 7 square plus 7 minus 0 the whole square plus minus 2 plus 0 the whole squared. And here we have 8 square plus 7 square plus minus 2 the whole square. It's the same thing. 64 plus 49 plus 4. And over here it will be 50, 114, 117. So the answer is 117 square root. Or it can be written as 3 root 13 because you can take a common term out and then we can solve it. So this is how we basically solve it, because over here 117 is basically 9 times 13 is square root 117. And this can be simplified. 9 can be written as 3 and this is 13. So this is 3 root 13. Or you can just put in the calculator, you'll directly get this answer. So that's how we solve these 3-dimensional problems. And that's the end of this question.